Good morning, DSST. In order to prepare for our virtual Socratic seminar today, which will happen in Google Classroom, a couple of things we need to understand first, particularly around claim and counterclaim. These two words here, which I know many of you have heard before, but I just want to review before we get into our Socratic seminar. So first, we're going to look at the prompt. The prompt is eSchool or in-person school better for students at DSST? And I already provided you with the claim just for this example. The claim is in-person school is better for students at DSST. So when I write a counterclaim, counter, right, indicates that it should be opposing. So it needs to be a different claim from the claim that you are making up here. So the counterclaim in this case would be obvious because the prompt gives you these two options, in-person school or eSchool. So in this case, eSchool is better for students at DSST. Alright, so now I have a claim and counterclaim for this prompt. The claim is the argument that I think is most sufficient. The counterclaim is a different argument. In order to make an effective argument, you need to acknowledge what the counterclaim is. Alright. Second, we need to put this together in an argumentative thesis. And so I know many of you have done this previously, but we're going to use this sentence stem down here and the claim and counterclaim that we've already come up with up here to fill that into the response. So when you are creating an argumentative thesis, it's a little bit backwards from what you might think. You actually start your thesis with the counterclaim. So you use this subordinate clause here, while some people believe, and then you finish that subordinate clause with the counterclaim. So in this case, it would be, I would refer up to my counterclaim, eSchool is better for DSST students. I'm actually going to just copy, or students at DSST, I'm just going to copy this and put it at the start of my thesis down here. Now I've started by acknowledging the counterclaim. Now I have the sentence stem in reality. The next thing I need to do is include my claim after in reality because this is what I am going to be arguing within this thesis based on this prompt. And so I need to copy and paste that here. Right? And I'm actually going to make sure that that is yellow. Last but not least, typically you might have multiple reasons if you're writing an essay, but for the purposes of this, you only need one reason. So, because it allows students to make better connections with their peers and teachers. So now I added a reason here that supports the claim that I'm making, which is that in-person school is better for students at DSST. One last thing I just want to stamp is these notes over here, which I do also want you to fill in. So over here on the right, your counterclaim acknowledges the argument, an argument different from your own, right? Number two, make the counterclaim a subordinate clause, and many of you might have also called this a dependent, if you have talked about this in class, a dependent clause at the beginning of the sentence, right? In order to make it a subordinate or dependent clause, you need to start with a word like while or although, even though, just like this thesis does right here. Second to last is you have to always include, right, a claim, which is a direct response to the prompt that will be the side that you're supporting. And then for the purposes of this today, you're going to include one reason to support your claim. All right, so in a second, you're going to be responsible for creating your own. Thank you.